I definitely recommend using a metered taxi in the Philippines rather than Grab. That said, I understand the advantages of Grab, and of course, there's always a risk of being scammed by some metered taxi drivers. So, I do appreciate Grab in certain situations. Anyway, the reason I recommend metered taxis is that they're cheaper than Grab, with fares typically being 10% to 50% lower. Some people who recommend Grab seem to believe it not only has certain advantages over metered taxis but is also cheaper. In reality, though, metered taxis are more affordable. However, it's important to know the right approach when using a metered taxi. Start by approaching the taxi on the side with the front passenger window. The driver will usually roll down the window, and at that point, you should politely ask them to use the meter. If they agree, you can get in. If not, simply move on to the next taxi and repeat the process. You'll find a driver willing to use the meter without too much trouble. Of course, you can negotiate the fare with the driver directly instead of asking to use the meter. That's one option. Additionally, you can check the estimated fare on the Grab app to have a sense of the cost beforehand. Another potential issue with metered taxis is that the driver might take a longer route to increase the fare. However, with Google Maps on your smartphone, you can simply let the driver know you're following the route, which helps prevent this kind of scam. I'm well aware of the advantages of Grab taxis, such as door-to-door transportation, fare settled in advance, and the convenience of handling everything on a smartphone, including credit card payment. However, if you're in an area with plenty of metered taxis available, taking one can save you time since you don't have to wait for a Grab taxi to arrive. I don't mean to completely dismiss Grab taxis. In fact, there are times when Grab is the better option, like if you need a ride after leaving a bar at midnight. If you're struggling to find a taxi outside, there's a higher chance of running into trouble. But if you order a Grab taxi while you're still seated inside, you can get straight into the car when you step outside, minimizing the risk of unwanted attention. This is a real story. My acquaintance forgot his iPhone in a Grab taxi he took to Ninoy Aquino Airport. He used his iMac to locate and beat the iPhone, sending a message to the driver asking him to return to the airport with the promise of a 2,000 peso reward. He was able to get his phone back just in time for his flight. I don't think this story necessarily highlights the advantages of Grab taxis, as he could have located his iPhone even if he had taken a metered taxi. However, there is a benefit to being able to track the Grab taxi through the app. He mentioned that it was reassuring to see not only the location of his iPhone but also the Grab taxi itself, which allowed him to stay calm while waiting until the last minute before the check-in counter closed. Those who are confident in using Grab taxis should be aware of some concerning reports that have emerged recently, indicating that some passengers have been charged more than the fare shown on the Grab app. While Grab will refund any excess charges after you file a claim, the process can be frustrating. What's worse is that Grab drivers can see the customer's destination, which means they could potentially collude with robbers to know the route in advance. To return to my initial point, at least as of August 2024, during my last visit to the Philippines, metered taxis were cheaper than Grab. If you have any misconceptions about the fares, it's important to know the actual prices, as I mentioned. However, I can't guarantee that this will remain the case in the future, as competition could change the situation.